and I think the end result is so pretty. I love it so much. This was the easiest set I have ever done in my life, you guys. But it was the easiest set I've ever done, but also the prettiest set I've ever done. That says a lot because I've done a lot of sets, you guys. And this is definitely one of my favorites. Let me know what you guys think of the end result. Check out my Patreon below because all of the funds goes to nail school. I want to try to go and get my license in esthetician and nail school. So I need money in order to pay for my son's daycare in order to go. So all of the proceeds from my Patreon are going to pay for that. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you to all of my Patreons. Hey, my lovies, my babies, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. Sorry I didn't record an intro and outro, but if you would like to see how I got my nails from this, which is pretty sad, to this, then just keep on watching. This was the easiest way to build a set of nails. Not acrylic, not gel, way easier. You don't have to have any practice. This is the first time I've ever done a polygel set, and this is the result I got. So if you'd like to see how I got my nails to this, I guide you through and how to do it on your first time, then just keep on watching. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Hey guys. Oh, look at my nails. Oh. Okay, let me stop. Anyways, let's look up. Okay, first of all, don't mind my look right now. I just really woke up. So I'm just gonna type in party gel sets. I know that the one that I purchased had the most stuff in it, everything included. Wanted to get that one for you guys that don't have all that stuff at home. And it was the cheapest. Ooh, we got some glitter ones right here. That's pretty awesome. I didn't want to get ones like that just have the basics. But if you don't have a lamp, you're going to need a lamp at home. I really actually want to try this glitter one next. And it's going to be this number right here. It's going to be the last. This one's showing.
Let me show you.
Okay, so I got this one right here, and as you can see, it has everything. I got this one because it's only $22, you guys, for the whole entire set, and you get six colors, which is still a lot. I am enjoying this one. I have nothing bad to say about it. We'll link it below for you guys, and let's just get into it. All right, you guys, it's gonna go really fast. Let's see if I can do it. So the first thing up is the spatula. Now, actually, it's a cuticle pusher. You can use it to push the cuticles, and you can also use it to put the polygel on the nail. It's up to you. This is a 800 3000 buffer. This is not a nail file. This is a buffer only, and it's very smooth. This is a brush. I like how it comes with that cap. I like how it comes with actually these toe separators. I don't have any of those actually, so it comes in handy. This is cuticle oil, OPI in quotations. Whether or not it actually is OPI, which I doubt it is, I actually still really like it. I like how it is a brush on, and it smells good and it works good. So here is the only file that it comes with. So you may want to have other files to file the finished product. It comes with a top coat. Don't trust it. Came with a slip solution. Don't really trust it, but I used it anyways. And the reason why I don't trust any of the liquids is because they don't come with ingredients. That is the sucky part. So I don't trust anything that doesn't come with ingredients, and neither should you, to be quite honest. Instructions, it comes with a set of pinching tools, which is nice for, I don't know how you would use that for a polygel, but I'm sure there's a way. Probably could look it up. Comes with some nail primer, and it comes with some skin tattoos. Not sure why they added that. It was very nice of them. However, I don't know how you use that on the nail. If you can figure out a way, you let me know, please, because that would be awesome. And let's go right back to that nail primer. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use the nail primer for you guys, so I'm not sure if the nail primer works, but you guys can try it out if you'd like. So here's the soft pink. This is more like a bubblegum pink. It comes with a clear, which is great. That is used for big gems on the nails and etc. This is a rose pink, which is a light, almost clear purple, as you will see later. Here is a white, which is great for pink and whites, French tip, whatever you want to do. Here is a pink. Now this is a dark pink. It should be labeled dark pink. But anyways, here's some gems. These are lovely. You can use them if you would like. However, I haven't. Here is a nude pink. I believe this is my favorite pink. Next up is the base coat. I have not tried that either, unfortunately, you guys. I'm sorry. You may want to get a base and top coat besides this one, but that's totally up to you. Next up is another buffer. I don't know why they gave you 2 buffers. I haven't had a use for this, but you might. Next up is the brush. Now I love this cute little brush, so you can brush the dust off your nails when you're done with them or done with your client, however you prefer. And I just think it's so cute, so pretty. I love it. I'm so for aesthetic things. You guys probably know that already. And here is this cute little mini UV lamp. I love this so much. It's so convenient. I will go into a little bit more depth about that in a little bit. So next up is the dual forms. Now I had no problem with these dual forms. I love how there's so many different sizes, so you can fit it to your actual nail. You can also file them down to fit it even more perfectly. There's nothing bad to say about these dual forms. They were easy to work with and I love them. So back to the little UV lamp. I love this so much, so aesthetic. It's cute, it's tiny, it's pink. The only problem is so far I've not been able to use it unless it's plugged in, and the wire is very short, so that's just something to note. But other than that, I love it. It just has one button, so like only a timer for a minute, and that is it. Okay, now it's time for the swatches. So I love how this brush comes with a cap, like I said earlier. Keep that cap so you can keep your brush clean and preserve the brush. So now you're going to want to dip some alcohol into the glass, shot glass, whatever little glass you have handy, and see how I didn't make it spill. I poured the alcohol down the brush. So that's just a little tip. And then just clean your brush off really quickly on a piece of paper towel just to get that starch off and that dust off of that brush that's been there for a while. So I'm going to do the soft pink first. And that is like almost a bubblegum pink. It's not very like a soft pink, but it's still a very pretty pink. I'm not going to do anything fancy today. I'm just literally putting it on a paper towel, dipping my brush into some alcohol and trying to see if it pretty much works very nicely. And it actually really does. I was very impressed right away. I was like, wow, this seems way easier than acrylic, way easier than gel. I was liking it so far. Now this nude pink, this one right here is my favorite one. This is the color that I actually chose to do my nails on today. And just remember that it's doing it on a white paper towel, so it's a little bit, whiter than it would be on like a clear tip. There's the white color. I love all of these colors, you guys. Well, I won't say all of them, but these 3, oh yeah, perfect. This is the rose pink up next, and I wouldn't say it's a rose pink. It's more of like a purpley color. But I do like it. It's like a clear purple color. This one right here is like, I think that one's just pink. And I was like, that's a very weird color to be just pink. It's very dark, but I was like, okay. There's the clear, and there's all 6 of them before I put them under the UV lamp. Okay, now I'm grabbing the primer, and I'm not going to be using this today because like I said earlier, I do not trust anything that comes from China or anything cheap that comes from China to put on my natural nail. So today I'm going to be using the Mia Secret primer and dehydrator. So what I'm going to do first is always the dehydrator and then the primer. However, I am skipping a step, which I will show you in a minute. So you shouldn't do this first. You should actually do one thing before this, but that's okay. But while I am talking to you about this, I might as well show you how bad of shape my nails are in. And this is clearly just because I didn't know what I was doing when it comes to acrylic and gel. And if you don't know what you're doing and you're creating a long length of nail, you're going to mess up your nails. So there was lifting and I wasn't noticing it. There was water seeping in my nails, and I have like little red marks on my nails now because they got so thin that when I go to file my nails, it leaves like little tiny baby cuts. So it is not good at all, and I actually need to put something on my nails now, or else they bend and they're brittle and they hurt. So just a little tip is do not create a long nail for your first time, please. Don't make the mistake that I did. Go short. You can do them like as long as I do it in my video, which may be long to some people, but that's short to me. I love long lengthened nails. So anyways, now this is what you should have done before the primer and dehydrator is find your nail shape and put the dual forms and pick them out. So now I have picked out all of the dual forms, shaped them to my size. The round end of the dual form is going to go on your cuticle. So now I'm going to add the primer. And just one thing to note would be make sure the dual forms aren't too big and are not too small. The nail is not going to end up looking right, and I will show you what that looks up later on because I make that mistake. So you can file down the edges to fit your finger perfectly. I just wanted to let you know. So now I am ready to put the base coat on. I'm using Model 1's base coat. I love Model 1's top and base as my literal favorite right now. That is going to protect your nail from getting too hot, and it also helps the polygel stick to your natural nail. So it's just kind of like a little layer of glue. So you definitely don't want to skip a base coat. So I also wanted to add that I'm doing one finger at a time. So I'm putting the base coat on one finger, putting it in the UV lamp, and putting the polygel on each finger. And you want to do that just because you don't want to scuff up the base coat on your other fingers. You need to have at least your other fingers free to be able to do whatever, and it's just much easier to do one nail at a time. Plus my son was up at this point and I had to keep going and doing other stuff. So this was my actual favorite part of it. It's actually very fun to play around with the polygel. It's kind of like modeling clay just with a brush and alcohol. And so the more alcohol you get on it, it's easier to mold. It becomes very sticky. That's how you know you need some alcohol. If it starts sticking to the brush and it gets pretty messy, just dip your brush in and then you're good to go. Now, if you put too much alcohol on there, it becomes a little mushy. So you don't want to put too much, and then you also don't want to have too less. So there's a happy medium, but you will figure it out for what you need. For me, I found it easier to do a base layer. So I did a pretty thin layer, as you can see is what I'm doing right now. And I just added some more on top of that. Because as soon as you have the base layer, you can just add some more on top of that. You don't need a form, you don't need a tip, and you're good to go. I found these dual forms so easy. You don't have to really shape the form. You don't have to shape the tip. It is just so much less time consuming to just do a dual form. I love this method so much, you guys, and I've been working on acrylic, I've been working on gel. They're both really hard to do at home. I wouldn't recommend unless you're very, very committed. You know, I found this was the easiest process, and I found that even though I practiced those other treatments, that I feel like literally anybody could do the polygel, and that's really how I feel. So if you would like to, you can totally give it out a try, girlfriend. You'll save money on going and get your nails done. You know, I really shouldn't be telling you this because I do want to become a nail tech, but I'm always trying to help you guys save money, and however that can happen, I will help. Another little tip would be to make sure that you have the length you want before you cure it on your finger, because if you have the wrong length and you decide that you want to go shorter like I did, it's hard because it gets so thick in the middle, because you want the thickest part to be in the middle of the nail, the apex. So if it becomes the middle of the nail becomes the end of the nail, when you start filing it down, it becomes very hard to start filing all that. So just wanted to let you know that. So you're pretty much going to be repeating a lot of steps at this point. So I'm not going to show you every single nail. However, I wanted to show you this nail because it is so satisfying how easy and perfect that this nail looked. It's really easy when you have the exact size for the dual form. So you can tell that the dual form is the exact size that I needed, and it comes out so perfectly. And just peeling off that dual form is so satisfying, and seeing that end result, I just love it. Look how perfect that is. Literally, all I would need to do would be to add another layer and then file for the shape. It's extremely easy, you guys. Give it a try, and if you don't succeed or if you don't like it, then you can always just go get your nails done again. But I love saving money and I love helping you guys save money. So yeah, I wanted to show you the middle finger though, because this one I actually did mess up, and I wanted to show you steps and tips as to not mess up like I did. So this part's fine. I molded it and shaped it like normal, and then when I went to go put it on my finger, I noticed that it was a little bit too big, but it's a little bit too late once you put it on the finger, in my opinion. So I just kept going with it. And what I kept doing, and this is wrong of me, is I kept playing with it and playing with it and playing with it. Because it was too big, it's never going to be perfect. And I kept touching it and poking and prodding, and because it was too big, it kept slipping down my finger and down my finger. And at that point, there's really no way to stop that. So I should have just put it in the UV lamp at this point and just called it a day. But no, I wanted it perfect, and I kept poking and prodding. So this is what happened, and this was the end result right here, as you will see. And it's just sliding off my finger. There's nothing at the cuticle. It's a little weird looking, but you guys saw the end result. There's an easy way to fix that, and it would just be to add some more on, or file it down first and then add some more on. That's all you have to do. So if you ever come up with a mistake or something looks really bad and you start freaking out, don't freak out. Just relax. It's okay. There's always ways to fix things. And number 1 would be filing, and number 2 would be adding more on. So don't worry. It is all good, sister. And so as you can see here, the situation worked itself out. I made it seem like there was never even a problem. And that's really easy with polygel. So now I am filing the nails, because for me, it's easier to file the nails and then put the second layer on, because if you add too much and too thick on the second layer, then it's harder to file down. So for me, it's just easier to get that done and over with. So now I am adding another layer to the nails. You don't want them too thick, however, you don't want them too thin either. So it's finding that happy medium. You don't want them bulky because they look big and ugly, but you don't want them too thin, so in order to break a finger or break a nail or something. So another technique that I found that was really helpful was to pat the polygel. I just kept patting, because if you rub it and push down, it's just going to move the polygel to where you don't want it to be. But if you start patting the polygel, it'll actually stay in place, and it's actually a really good method, and it's a fast method. It helped me get done a lot faster when I did that. Another good method that I found was, if you don't have an electric file, make sure you look underneath the dual form and take your brush, dip it in alcohol, and just smooth that out, especially if you don't have a nail drill. I do, but if you don't, I would definitely recommend doing that. So here's the finished product of the nails on the opposite hand. So far, it's not looking too bad. I just have to file, add another layer, and we're good to go. I mean, it's such an easy process. Like, I can't believe it. And I absolutely love the color. So here is a way, if you don't know how to file coffin and you would like to file coffin, this is the angle that you would need to do on a slant like that. Make sure you are in exactly how you want the angle to be, and just file on the first layer so it's a lot easier for you. Just make sure you don't make it too skinny, because there's no going back from that, unfortunately. But this is the angle you would want for coffin. What you also want to do is make sure that they're all the same length. So what I did here was I'm just snipping off little chunks. It's easier to do it with the clippers first and then file down if it's a large amount. And then also I would make sure before you even cure in the dual forms to just make sure they're all the same size. Don't do what I did, because it honestly would just make it so much easier if you would just make sure before you cure that they're all the same size, and then you just have to file a little bit. It took me forever on the filing part. Not how it normally takes with acrylic. The polygel is so easier to file compared to acrylic. It's almost like gel. So I don't know if you guys have ever used gel, but gel is so easy to file, and this was very easy to file also. So now I'm using the buffer. I am not buffing the whole entire nail. I'm just buffing little parts here and there, because if you're going to use gel polish on top of the polygel, you're definitely not going to want to buff it out all the way, because the smooth surface, the gel polish just has nothing to stick to. So just beware of that. And so here's the final product. This is everything. After everything, honestly, I could have just left my nails like that. They look beautiful the way they are, but I'm literally going to have to add some bling. So I'm going to use polygel on my right hand to secure the gems and then glue on my left hand to secure the gems, and we'll see which one works better. I already know the answer, so let me know down below which one you think worked better. So what I do is I lay out the gems on the table before I put them on, just to make sure they're gonna look good, just to make sure everything looks okay, and then I glue them on. And so make sure you don't use a lot of polygel like I did, because I had to wipe a lot away just to make sure it wasn't a bumpy surface. So after that, it is time for the holographic nails that you saw in the beginning of the video. So what that calls for is no wipe gel top coat. Sorry, I can't talk. First, put a layer of no wipe gel top coat. Then on top of that, you grab the holographic powder that I got off of Amazon. I will link it down below for you guys if you'd like. It comes with a little makeup brush, and all you do is tap the little makeup brush inside that beautiful holo powder. And what I do for this set is I tapped it off first to get a lot of it off, because I don't want too much. For me, I like to see, on this set particular, I like to see the color underneath. So if you grab a lot of that powder, it'll honestly turn the whole nail like a holographic silver, like the actual color in the pot. So I actually wanted to see the pink through, so I just tapped it off a little bit and put a thin layer on, but it ends up looking so beautiful. You guys, look at that pretty holographic rainbow. Oh my god, I am obsessed. I love shiny things, I love pretty things. It's just so freaking pretty to me. I love it so much. And so I decided to put that on my middle finger and my thumb to kind of even it out and even out the look. And let me know what you guys think of this. I just think it's so pretty. And then on top of that, you just put another no wipe gel top coat, if I can say it correctly, and then just put it in the oven and bake it for 30 seconds. And so here is the final look. What do you guys think? I love it so much. I put a gel top coat on all of my fingers, and I just think it's so shiny and pretty. I love this color pink so much. And so here's the OPI cuticle oil that it came with. I like how it's a brush on the end. I've never had that before, and I liked it. It and no problems with it at all. You put it underneath the nail and on all the sides of the nail and just rub it in, and it makes, you know, all that dryness just go away from filing and using alcohol and all of that. And I think the end result is so pretty. I love it so much. This was the easiest set I have ever done in my life, you guys. I don't know if it's because I've had practice or it's because of the polygel. I'm pretty sure it's because of the polygel. I like this set the best out of any set I've done, which that says a lot because I've done a lot of sets, you guys, and this is definitely one of my favorites. Let me know what you guys think of the end result. Let me know if you guys are gonna try it, and I want to know how your nails turned out. Add me on Instagram and show me what you did to your nails. I would like to see. I want to see what you did with it, how your creative side comes out. And yeah, there's nothing bad I have to say. I love it so much, you guys. And I guess this is the end of the video. Check out my Patreon below, because all of the funds goes to nail school. I want to try to go and get my license in esthetician and nail school, and so I need money in order to pay for my son's daycare in order to go. So all of the proceeds from my Patreon are going to pay for that. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you to all of my Patreons. I will put you on the screen soon, and I will talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.